Okay. How are you? TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. So I just tried to broadcast this on Instagram, but unfortunately I can't because I have to have a minimum of 1,000 Instagram followers in order for me to be eligible to broadcast on Instagram. I literally just saw that when I hit the live button, kicked it back, and said that I am not yet eligible to broadcast on Instagram. So it is what it is. Just learned something new today that I have to have a minimum of 1,000 followers, which we don't have. But hopefully we'll get there one day. In any way, the enterprise platform from Bearcat has always been on YouTube. So yes, which this also is going to be chopped up and distributed on Instagram as well as Facebook. But in order for you to watch the Bearcat live broadcast horizontally or vertically, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. It's YouTube at Rich Bearcat. So welcome. How are you guys doing? Are you ready for your weekend? I went earlier. The reason why I pushed this back, this was initially scheduled for 10 a.m., but the wifey wanted to go see Send Help, the new movie by Rachel McAdams. And she asked if I would be so kind as to push the live stream back a few hours so we can go catch the matinee. We saw it this morning at 10 a.m. at one of the luxury theaters here in Henderson. So super good movie. Uh, it- Listen, if you're a Rachel McAdams fan, go ahead and go watch it. It's a little stranded in the island sort of feel to it. So think of like Tom Hanks, the old movie of Tom Hanks when he was stranded in that island, something like that, with a little bit of a horror thriller twist. I'm not gonna give too much away, but feel free to go check out Sand Help. So today's topic, constructive brief, strategic advice for Innoson Motors, Nigeria's Innoson Motors. So I cannot assume that you guys know who Innoson Motors is. So I'm just gonna break it down and let you guys give you guys a brief background on this car company. They are an indigenous car brand out of Nigeria. They started as far back as 2007. So they've been around now for roughly 19 years, going on 20 years. I mean, they're an indigenous brand. It's made in Nigeria. The manufacturing state is in Anambra State. So a Nigerian indigenous car brand is what Innoson is. They make buses, they make sedans, they make what else do they make? They also make trikes like this. We call them keke in Nigeria. These little three-wheel automobiles, what they make. So these guys have been around for quite some time now. And I just have advice for them. Now, it's something, I mean, they may take it or they may not. I'm looking at this more from a consumer's perspective. And I've been in branding and advertising for a little over 20 years now. So I'm pretty qualified to talk about positioning and messaging. And just offer my advice to Innoson Motors if they are watching this from a diaspora perspective. And then, they're more than welcome to make use of it or, decide what they want to do with this advice that I'm going to give them. So Elon Musk, you guys know Elon Musk, the world's richest man, once said that a mistake of most companies is optimizing things that should not exist. I'm going to repeat that. One of the most common mistakes that companies make is optimizing things that should not exist. So when I look at a car brand like Innoson, they've been around for quite some time. What I do want to say is, let's say if I were to be brought on to advise this company, and I'm sitting with the board members of Innoson if they have a board team, or maybe even the CEO. One of the things that I'm going to ask myself is, if I wanted to kill this company, how would I do it? So I'm going to make a list. If I wanted to totally obliterate and destroy the Innoson brand, if I wanted to kill the Innoson car company, how would I do it? And then I'll start making a list. I'll do this, I'll do that. I would maybe not have clear messaging, maybe not have clear positioning, try to be everything to everybody, trying to position myself as something that I'm not. So I'm going to make all of that list. And what I'm going to do is then avoid those things. Okay. That's the thing that I would do. Okay. So you got to look at, like, how do car companies today survive? The automobile industry is one of the most competitive industries in the world. How do they survive? The economy of the auto industry, what is it based upon? So I feel, just having studied this car brand for as long as I have, I feel that they are missing a unique selling proposition, son. And I'm going to show you guys the brand from their web presence. As you guys know, what do they say? Your website is your front porch or the front door to your business. So we're going to look at Innoson's website. We're going to analyze it. So Innoson doesn't have a unique selling proposition. You see, saying that you are a made in Nigeria automobile brand, or made in Nigeria car brand, or an indigenous car brand, that is not a unique selling proposition. So what a unique selling proposition does is it answers, why should I choose you over the competition? So we're going to look at brands like Toyota. What is the unique selling proposition of a Toyota? Reliability. They also have great resale value. I'm talking about like pre-owned or pre-certified used Toyota cars and used Honda cars. They have resale value. So that is their unique proposition. Reliable, affordable, great resale value. And then you look at car brands like what? Volvo. What is Volvo's? When they say Volvo, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear that brand name? Safety. That is what the consumer thinks when the name Volvo is uttered. Volvo also has a very high resale value. And then you look at brands like what? Tesla. EV innovation. They started the EV car race. They are still one of the largest in the EV space, although other companies like BYD, Build Your Dream in China, these guys are also starting to advance. But lately, EV sales has been cooling, though, in the past couple of years. It's been cooling. So Tesla's unique selling proposition: EV innovation, battery integration. Okay. And then you have also a direct to consumer model. That's also one of Tesla's USP. They sell directly to consumers, bypassing auto dealerships. They don't have to deal with auto dealerships. They can go directly to, so that is their unique selling proposition. They know, and that's why they're able to charge a little bit higher, because they know that when consumers or the buyers of Tesla cars, when they have issues, they can come directly or go directly to the maker to have their solutions. To have solutions to their problems, to have their problems solved. What's up, CJ? How's it going? That is their unique selling proposition. But unfortunately, what is this? The Innoson is really optimizing things that should not exist. They are trying to cater to everybody and anybody. After 19 years, habits die hard. After 19 years in business, they're still not able today in 2026 to build local adoption in the Nigerian market because, to be quite honest with you, people are confused. When I hear the name Innoson, I'm confused. I don't know exactly what I'm signing up for. And saying that you are a locally made indigenous company in Nigeria is not enough for me to be able to pull out my wallet and buy your car. So they are missing that USP. They need to be known for something. What are they good at? Why should you buy an Innoson car in a market that is mostly driven by imported used vehicles? 1 in 10 Nigerian households, only 10% of Nigerian households have vehicles. And the majority of them, very rarely are they new. They are mostly older imported cars that have been in wrecks that are unsuitable for Western roads. These are the kinds of vehicles that the Nigerian consumers who are looking for cars, this is the type of cars that they buy. Innoson also has the challenge of being in a market where the average per capita of every Nigerian person is only $1,200. So it's going to be extremely difficult for you to sell them a brand new car because most of them can't afford it. So I feel like a part of the market was market research conducted. Who is driving Innoson? That's the thing. Some Nigerians are driving Innoson though, but not, I think most people there who are driving it just to say they're supporting a locally made Nigerian car brand. There's really no data out there regarding the resale value of an Innoson car. And you guys know, once a brand new car drives off the lot, it loses 30% of its value once it drives off the lot. So then what is the resale value of an Innoson car? He makes kekes. He just started making keke. And in 2024, what did Innoson do? He started an EV brand. So they haven't even penetrated the gas-powered auto sector yet. What did they do? They launched an EV brand, further confusing people. So let me go ahead. I'm going to show you guys my their website, and we're going to look at what I'm talking about here in a second. So you guys have an understanding of what this car looks like, at least their digital footprint. So you guys can see what they look like. So for those, if this is your first time, this is Innoson. This is Innoson's website. I'm waiting for it to load on my monitor. So when you look at this website for the first time, what do you see? You look at this hero section here, SUVs, highly pixelated cars. You can't really tell. What does this kind of looks like they copied some sort of, oh, and then they also have vans. Now you look at this one called what is this one called? This is called the G80. Let's go back to this G80 car. Actually, let's go to SUVs and look at Innoson G80 for a second. Now, this kind of reminds me of what Chrysler, the US car brand Chrysler tried to do in the early 2000s when they launched the Chrysler 300. If you guys remember, it was supposed to mirror the Bentley. It was a poor man's version of the Bentley. It didn't do well at all. I think they actually ended up shutting down that car brand. They don't make the Chrysler 300s anymore. So now you look at this G80, it's a grand package of luxury and performance. Doesn't that look a little bit like they're trying to mirror the G-Wagon? So why would somebody, okay, okay, I see you when you get back. So why would somebody opt for a G-Wagon lookalike in the luxury sector when they can buy the real G-Wagon? See, this is what I'm saying about Innoson's unique selling proposition. Instead, they ought to be making what I would say a low-cost gas-powered mass market car that the everyday Nigerian can afford. The everyday Nigerian, you have an economy where what? According to the World Bank, 64% of Nigerians they live below the poverty line. You are introducing luxury brands in a market that can't afford it. And you also have to remember, Innoson is not a vertically integrated company. They don't really make their engines. They don't make their batteries. They don't really make much. The majority, maybe the plastics, maybe the grill that you see here for the chassis is probably what they make. But the core components, the engineering that makes up this vehicle, Innoson doesn't make them. They import them into the country from abroad. So that USP is just not there for you to be able to shape someone's buying decision. So now we look at this. Let's scroll down and look at, oh, it says here, make it yours. And also the thing is, how much are these cars selling for? Let's look at some of these photos. Look at this photo here. What does this tell? Look at this. Just look at this photo here for a second. You are creating or showcasing a luxury brand. Don't know why it keeps doing that. Actually, I'm going to save it and then I'm going to pull it up. Save image. Show you guys what I mean by this. So here we are. Innoson is showcasing a luxury brand. You look here to the right and you see trash. Look there on the right. I don't know why this keeps doing this. This is what Innoson calls luxury, a G-Wagon style look-alike. They might even be infringing on G-Wagon's design. I just don't see the unique value proposition that Innoson has right now. What are they trying to sell us? They're trying to sell you low-cost cars. They also want to sell you pickups. They also want to sell you what? Sorry, okay. So I paused the 1 second. I paused it. I paused it. This is what I'm trying to show you. Okay. That's what I was trying to show you about the marketing of this car brand. And then at the top right corner there, they have what? Trash. When you are looking and you are scrolling through this website, does this make you want to buy this vehicle? Kind of looks dusted. They really haven't washed it. It's parked and along some sort of dirt road. Let's go back to let's go back to the. How do I get out of here and go back to the main site again? Start over. Some vehicles. Let's start over and see how that works. All right. So now, in the SUV category, they have what? They have the Innoson G80, which we just saw, luxury. They have the G40. Let's look and see what the G40. I'm looking at this all for the first time with you guys. So they have the luxury G40. It's for go-getters, the adventure seekers, the individuals that are always in motion, and everyone else who finds meaning in the everyday life. Okay. And they want me to make it mine. But let's look at what this G40 is all about. Leather trim, kind of similar to the G80. Maybe the G40 is more of like the sister version of the G80. How much are these cars really? Okay, it says make it mine. Let's go back to the G80 there, and then I'll try and see if I can purchase this car and see how much it costs. So it says make it yours. Okay, what is this about? There's no price. Okay, we're gonna pretend that we're buying Innoson today. Let's see the G80 email. Price inquiry. Okay. You may say, okay, so they don't publicly disclose how much they're selling it for. So let's go to the car section. Actually, let's go back to I want to see what the what's the G5T? Let's see what that looks like. Leading the future, bringing aesthetics and intelligence in one balance. It's almost very sporty, very I don't know, the interior doesn't really work for me. I'm not really vibing with this one. So automatic five-seater. Let's look at some of the photos. Look at the headlight there. Just want to be able to scroll through this on my own instead of it automatically scrolling. Okay. So it's got that little steering wheel there. It's almost like a sports car steering wheel. Mm, look at that. IVM. I know they don't make their tires, probably imported in. Mm. Yeah, like this website is really tough to navigate. Really, really tough to navigate. Okay, so that was GST, and then let's look at the G60. This is more of the same. Okay, more of the same. Comfort style for families. It's like a van, SUV, sorry, van, SUV hybrid. Is that what it is? Does this make you want to buy this car? I'm not feeling this at all. I'm not feeling this at all. This is not a bash against Innoson. I'm not critiquing or trying to bring them down or tear them down. I'm just saying that There is nothing, nobody cares, to be quite frank with you. I think nobody cares other than Mr. Innoson himself about these vehicles because people are not buying them. And I know there was an interview that he did. He was talking about um, he was talking about exporting. He was talking about exporting, but that's going to be very difficult to do and when there isn't really local adoption yet like that after 19 years. So let's look at the abouts. Maybe this would give us a little bit of information on the direction that they're going with this car brand. So you look right here, it says our brand. Who are we? The first made in Nigeria automobile brand. We get it, we get it, we get it. But that is not a unique selling proposition, Mr. Innoson. It is not. So what is the purpose of Innoson? Why do they exist? It says here, to eradicate tokumbo, quote unquote, foreign used automobiles from Africa. Is that your purpose? Do you know what a good purpose would have been? A good purpose would have been to ensure that the everyday Nigerian has a reliable and affordable car to drive. That would have been a good purpose. An affordable, reliable car for the everyday Nigerian. Saying you want to eradicate Tokumbo, foreign use automobiles, in a country that has been importing Tokumbo for the past 65 years. That isn't a unique selling purpose for people to buy Innoson over a used. And I think intentionally, Mr. Innoson himself is also, or Innoson Motors themselves, they are also intentionally omitting the prices, the price range on their vehicles from their website. We have to actually have to send them an email to request a price inquiry. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to call you back and say, build your own car? I don't want to necessarily build my own car. I want to know how much are you selling these cars for? To justify me walking away from a Tokumbo car. I'm telling you something right now. The average price point right now for a used car, I'm talking about a Nigerian at today that let's say makes 100,000 naira a month or 20,000 naira, the most they can probably afford to pay for a car is about 1 million naira at the very, very most. So it says there, our vision. What do we want to achieve? To become the pride of African roads, i.e., Africa's most preferred automobile brand. How are you going to do that? Okay, maybe they answered it in this, our mission portion of this site. How do we achieve these things? To make durable and affordable brand new automobiles for Africans. Look at the story here. This website looks to me like Mr. Innoson probably did this website himself. It says here the year was 1978, a commercial town situated. I think that's probably the year he started. He used to be a spare parts dealer. And then he went from importing spare parts and selling, assembling motorcycles to then launching the car brand, the Innoson IVM car brand. So it says there by 1987, a brand new motorcycle sold for 150,000 naira. And a Tokumbo one. So, oh, Jesus Christ. Does this make you want to buy an Innoson vehicle? When you read the story and it says the English composition is not right. By 1987, a brand new motorcycle sold for 150,000 naira, and a Tokumbo one sold for 100,000 for sold for 100,000 to 90,000. Wait, hold on. So so we go from high to low. I thought it was the other way around. Shouldn't have said the Tacoma one sold for 90K to 100K. He said the Tacoma one sold for 100K to 90K. And then they went to say things would have continued this way to this day. But for the intervention of a 25 years old Nigerian named Innoson Chikuma, the founder of Innoson Motors, CJ, driven by his passion for people and his core business philosophy of bringing down cost and passing the gain to customers, he pioneered the first made in Nigeria motorcycle brand that sold for as low as 60,000. By year 2002, he had successfully driven out Tokumbo foreign used motorcycles out of Nigeria forever! Exclamation. Oh, let's look at the present. So that was the beginning, oh. So let's look at the present now. We are manufacturing durable and affordable brand new automobiles for Africans. Our brand new automobiles are selling for almost the cost of their Tokumbo equivalents. And they are as good as any foreign automobile brand you know. Do you guys believe that? The statistics are alarming. According to a recent research by PricewaterhouseCoopers, the ratio of brand new automobiles to foreign used ones on Nigerian road is a ratio of 1 to 131. So that means for every one brand new car, there are 131 used vehicles, according to this study by PricewaterhouseCoopers. I'm wondering, did Innoson retain PwC for this? CJ, you know you are into market research and all that. Did they retain PwC? So it says, meaning, yes, I said that already, that for every one brand new car bought, there are 131 Tokumbo. So it says, what does this tell you? Okay, hold on. Our values, the principle that guide us. Cost. Always reduce cost to increase sales. Nobody today fit tell me, say, you can't tell me that Innoson is making money. Innoson Motors is not making money. You see, one day the pressure is going to mount and mount and mount, and then the dam is going to break. There's no way Mr. Innoson is making money with this car company. There's just no way. How are you going to close the gap from the one to, if that ratio is true? I'm probably leaning towards believing PricewaterhouseCoopers because they're a respected consultancy. They know what they're doing. So at the ratio of 1 to 134, how do you plan on building that gap? You see, the market has spoken, consumers have spoken. They prefer used vehicles. I'm talking about the Nigerian consumers. US is a little bit different. It's a blend of both used and new. So there are principles. Cost. Always reduce cost to increase sales. Honesty. Honesty is the best policy. Innovation. To be ahead. Always break new grounds. People. Any work that a person can do well should be given to a human being, not a machine. Okay? What does this tell you? Let's look at this. What does it mean? What is Mr. Innoson trying to tell me? Nigeria is among the biggest consumers of automobiles in the world without manufacturing its own cars. Yes, we get that. We get that. Right now, right now, at the moment, Nigerians import 700,000 used cars into the country every year. Majority of them comes from the US. The market is saying they want used cars. What's going to get them to move away from innocent, brand new vehicles? What's going to get them to give up used cars for innocent brand new vehicles when the actual clear USP is not there? You're not going to convince me because you're a locally made Nigerian brand that I'm going to give up my Ford brand or my Hyundai Elantra or my Mercedes Benz to then start using Innoson. He says here, Africa has literally become a dumping ground for foreign used automobiles. We are not second-class people that should only drive second-hand vehicles. Listen, there's this invention called ChatGPT. You know, you can actually input your intent in ChatGPT and it's going to rewrite this for you. This was this again, your website is the front door to your business. I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to visit this website, this Innoson Motors website, and then at the end be convinced. The messaging is just all over the place. It's amateurish at best. It says here, we are not just another made in Nigeria automobile brand. We are the first made in. You see, it does not matter if you are the first. You know, they say that pioneers get arrows on their backs. Being the first is not what counts. Being the best is what counts. First to market doesn't always mean that you're going to win in that market. Facebook was not the first in the social media market. They were not. Remember, guys, was it Friend something? Was it Friendster? Wasn't Friendster the number one the first social media brand out there? So saying that you are the first to market isn't, that's not a unique selling proposition. 8 years after launch and 10,000 automobiles sold, we are still committed to our purpose of eradicating tokumbo. You are not going, look, if your mission in life as a car brand is to get rid, if that is what you are optimizing for, like I said at the beginning of this, Elon said it. The biggest mistake is we are optimizing things that should not exist. So if your goal here is to optimize for the eradication of Tokumbo cars, you are already playing a losing game. Because used cars will never ever leave Nigerian roads. Used cars are part of the fabric and the identity of Nigeria. You know why? Because that is what the majority of the population can afford. And then Mr. Innoson, let's go back. Let me finish reading this because I'm getting to know about this with you. I'm getting to know about this car brand with you. It says here, we deserve better, and it's not up to the foreigners to change. It's up to us. When we patronize made in Nigeria vehicles, all the money being wasted on importation of vehicles will remain in the country. We will have more money in our hands to develop our country. I'm telling you guys, Mr. Innoson himself wrote this. There's no way you're going to tell me, you're going to convince me. Let me stop sharing this for a second. There's no way you're going to convince me that a CMO, a chief marketing, let me back up. There is no way you're going to tell me that Innoson has a CMO, a chief marketing officer right now. I was a marketing executive. I know what I'm talking about. There is no way in hell you'll tell me that Innoson today has a chief marketing officer employed right now because the chief marketing officer, a CMO, will not allow this website. A CMO, even a common marketing director, will not allow the verbiage and the messaging on that website, even the pictures. A CMO, a true CMO, is going to communicate why should people choose us instead of use imported vehicles. Are we affordable? Are we reliable? It's not all we are made in Nigeria. You say now you are trying to sell sentiments, and sentiments don't sell cars. When Ford started, Ford Motors, I'm going to look at Ford Motors in a second. But let us continue. Let me finish this thing because I want to show you Innoson's, I want to show you their EV. I want to show you their EV. CJ, I'll get with you in a second. Let me finish showing this. Oh my God. Oh, oh. Actually, let me answer some of your questions, CJ, before I move on. If only there was solar. They look good. I'll buy them if it's very expensive. We don't know. First of all, let's see how much is an Innoson car. Let's look it up. Cost of Innoson G80. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. So CJ, according to ChatGPT, let me show you this. Okay. So the Innoson G80 is a flagship SUV from Nigeria's Innoson vehicle. Generally cost around 27 million naira to 28 million naira for the standard new model in the local market. That's roughly 18,000 USD. Hold on, no. That's not true now. Wait, 28 million divided by 1450. Okay, so that's about nine. Right now it's about 19,300 and you are telling me that that SUV is only $18,000. Even if it's $18,000, me personally, I'm not buying. CJ, would you buy? You said you would buy this SUV. This SUV right now, currently, as it is right now, based on what ChatGPT is telling me, this SUV that looks like a G-Wagon is only 18,000 naira. It's sorry, $18,000. You buy that? You buy that? He should focus on cheap cars and government supplies, e.g., buses, school buses. Do you know what he should focus on? I think he has way too many products in the marketplace right now. From the cars. So what do we have here? We have cars, we have buses, we have MPVs, that's minivans. He has pickups, he has SUVs. So he has literally four different styles from a sedan to a van to a pickup truck to SUVs one, two, three, four, five. That is way too many options. You cannot tell me that Innoson sells more than 20,000 cars a year in Nigeria. I don't think it does. Oh, and then where I was looking at I was trying to show you guys the EV version of his cars. I don't think they've posted it yet. Now everybody else is actually getting out of the EV space. Well, maybe not get out of it, but everybody's starting to like slow down on EV manufacturing. A lot of the American car brands right now, they are doing both. They're doing hybrid right now at the moment because the government incentives that we had has expired. It expired in September of last year, and the EV space, the EV purchasing in the United States dropped by almost 50% because people were buying them based on government incentives. I think it was like $7,500 off. Now that those incentives are gone, people have reverted back to the norm. Now they're just most of them now they're opting for hybrids, both gas powered and EV combined. That's what they're opting for right now. And also Tesla, I'm going to use Tesla as an example. Tesla EVs, they don't really have a high resale value like that, you know. So Innoson has way too many offers. What would make sense is to first of all know your customer. Who are you making this vehicle for? I think going as far as to say you're making it for Africans is too far-fetched. Let's just say you are a Nigerian brand and you are making this car for the everyday Nigerian, just like Ford. When Ford started in 1903, his objective was to make, I think at that time, um, the first Ford brand was only $1,000. His goal was to put a car in every American household. That was his objective. So he created a car brand. I'm talking about Ford Motors Company that every American, no matter their status, can afford. And he ran with that model for 19 years before he decided to go premium with the Lincoln. Lincoln is you know how Toyota has Toyota and then they have the Lexus, which is the premium arm of Toyota. The premium arm of Ford is Lincoln. So you have the Lincoln Navigator, you have the Lincoln MDX, you have the Lincoln, that's the premium luxury brand of Ford. Took him 19 years. Prior to that, all he did was just sold basic Ford cars for the everyday American. Today, Ford Motors is the top three automaker in the United States of America. Innoson wants to do basic, then he wants to do keke, then he wants to do van, then he wants to do SUV, then he wants to do copycat luxury. It's as if Mr. Innoson is throwing spaghetti on the wall and just hoping for one to stick. Which segment is going to stick? So that confusion right now, and in addition, remember, he still has to deal with the fact that Nigeria still imports over 700,000 used cars into the country every year. So you have the influx of this used car importation into the country. You also have this widespread offering where you're trying to offer. Oh, and now he also has keke, and then he just introduced in 2024. He just introduced EVs into the lineup. And you have to remember too, Innoson doesn't have a full manufacturing assembly line like Ford. Ford has a vertically integrated system where they can literally roll off 10,000 cars a day on a Ford assembly line. Innoson still has to deal with the importation of systems and importation of car parts. In addition to all of the offerings that he has, all the models that he has, there's not one brand right now that you can line up 20 Nigerians and say, which Innoson brand can you identify? Because he has way too many of them. He has way too many. Let's look up Ford Motors. Listen, it's not as if I'm trying to compare Innoson, but they seem to have the same sort of beginning. It's not as if Ford started today and then it became the car brand he is today. I mean, this guy started small. So let's look at the Ford website And we're gonna compare the aesthetics and the look of a Ford website to, let's say, an Innoson motor. So this is Ford, this is Innoson. Let's go back to Ford. Oh yeah, I forgot. Ford has a Ford Bronco. So you look at Ford vehicles, cars. So these are Ford cars, trucks, the F-150, which is one of the top selling trucks in the United States, if not the world. You know, they say, look where you want to go. I don't think Ford is sitting up here when he started Ford by saying, oh, we want to eradicate the importation of foreign cars into the US. You got to mirror, model what works. You see what I mean? America counts on it. Innoson is not even focused on Nigeria. He wants to do the whole African continent. Own Nigeria first. Own the Nigerian market first. Just as an example, you see, Ford has their prices. See what I mean? What are you afraid of? Feature your prices on your website. Innoson doesn't have its prices featured on their website. Look at all this. It's saying here, buy Innoson made easy. Do you dream of owning a car? What do you mean by that? Do I dream of owning a car? Do you imagine yourself inside a brand? What do you mean? Do I imagine myself inside a brand new car? This just tells me that they don't know their audience. This basically here just tells me that Innoson doesn't know who they are catering to. Because if you know who you are catering to, it's easier for you to speak directly to those people. But when you don't have a clear audience that you are talking to, how can you then talk to them? It says, so Innoson asked two questions here. Do you dream of owning a car? Do you imagine yourself inside a brand new car inhaling the smell of a new leather? Oh my God. I'm telling you, Innoson Motors does not have a chief marketing officer right now. If they do, send that person to me. Let me ask that person. You see what I'm talking about? This is how you kill a business. At the beginning of this podcast, I said, if I were to sit in front of the Innoson board members, the first question I'm going to ask myself is, how can I kill this company? And now make a list of how I can kill this company. And then this is one of them. Not knowing who your audience is, being vague about your messaging. Says here, if you do, here is the good news. You can, and then can is, see what I'm saying? In caps. This is the kind of messaging that you send to somebody that very low class, aspirational, aspiring people, just low class. This is not a message for the middle class. This is more of a message for the low class who aspire. They're dreaming of the middle class already has that. Upper class, forget it. You are not even in the conversation because an upper class individual is not going to drive an Innoson car. They're going to be pushing a Cadillac Escalade. You can, caps, own a brand new car today and pay later at Innoson Vehicles. We have always been driven with the purpose of enabling our customers to own a car and drive with pride. And we know that you are among those who dream of owning a car of your own. The good news is that we are about to make that dream of yours become a reality. With the partnership between Innoson Vehicles and Access Bank through the Auto Finance Plan, you can now own a brand new car from Innoson and pay with ease. So at least he has his auto finance department handling things. Oh yeah, sorry. This is the Innoson electric vehicles that they launched. Let's look at this. The blog post. This was written back in September of 2024. So this tells me that there really isn't that much activity going on in the EV and at least for Innoson's electric vehicle offers. There's really not much action going on. He says here, at Innoson Vehicles, innovation drives everything we do. As the automobile landscape evolves, we are proud to introduce our line of electric vehicles that blend cutting-edge technology, sustainability, and the same reliable craftsmanship our brand is known for. Let's take a closer look at what makes our EV stand out with a focus on the Innoson IVM X02, EX02, and the other models in the electric lineup. Okay. So it says there, why go electric? Let's not even begin talking about electric because Nigeria don't get light now. So let's just keep going here. It says Innoson IVM Link, 201 to 230-kilometer range. So where are Nigerians expected to charge this? Those that are making this 200-kilometer drive, where are they going to charge? See? So there's the Link, that's the base model. Then there's the X02, so that's second. Then there's the X01 3. Then there's the X02 alternative 4. You see what I'm saying? These guys are spread out too much. They don't. Let's look at see what here is in the blog. So they haven't even really put a dent yet on the changing of behaviors, trying to get Nigerians to stop importing used cars to then looking at innocent cars. They haven't even done that yet. Now they've moved into the EV space. This doesn't, oh yeah, and then we got the buses, and now is it like CNG? See, this is a CNG bus. This is just this company just has way too much going on. They have way too much going on to force change. So back to what CJ said about they should focus on cheap cars and government supplies, etc., bus, etc., school buses, etc. Well, if their initial audience is government, then that they should tailor their unique selling proposition to them. You can't right now at this point try to reach the everyday Nigerian, and then you are trying to also reach the Nigerian government, and then you're also trying to reach the luxury segment, and then you're also trying to reach the middle class segment. I just feel, to be honest with you, that they are throwing spaghetti on the wall and just hoping something sticks. And right now, that is why nothing is sticking for Innoson. Nobody can look at Innoson today and say, okay, I can tie this car to reliability, or I can tie a high resale value to this brand. And like I said, he's trying to do what? He wants to also export. That's really where the money is. When you look at brands like BYD, Build Your Dream, Chinese brands, the export market is really what they're focused on right now. And that's what Innoson also has to compete with. He has to compete with the Chinese market. Look, if a Nigerian out there wants to start an automobile company, you can do whatever you want. Just know that it's more than just starting a car brand. You got to understand the economy. You also have to understand the markets that you are trying to penetrate. In China's case, They had over 50% adoption in China first before they went outside to try to export because they've now proven the concept. If your own people are not even buying your own cars, what makes you think that the Ghanaians are going to buy, or the Malians are going to buy, or the Kenyans are going to buy? And another thing too you have to remember is if I am the president of Ghana, for instance, and Innoson comes to me today and say, hey, he wants to export Innoson cars to Ghana. Guess what I'm going to tell him to do? I'm going to tell him, okay, that's all fine and dandy. Come to Ghana and build an Innoson factory so you can hire Ghanaians. I'm just not going to open up I'm just not going to open up importation of Innoson cars to come and compete with homegrown Ghanaian cars. I'm not going to do that. Same thing that's happening in the United States right now. It's why Donald Trump is telling people Hyundai right now is building factories in the United States to make Hyundai. Fine, you can bring the Hyundai brand to the US. You can make, but you must open the Hyundai factory in the United States and then hire United States labor. That's how industries grow. That's how economies grow. So are you telling me that Innoson right now, who hasn't cracked Nigeria yet, adoption of Innoson cars in Nigeria is still very soft. And then you are talking about exports. Remember, when you're talking about exports, you have to go to those countries and it's the same thing with what's happening with Dangote right now, with Dangote Cement. Anytime that you hear that Dangote Cement is in Angola, it's because he's building Dangote cement factories in Angola there and hiring Angolans. That's usually, I feel, man, he's got to have that affordability factor. And I just feel like he needs to trim down his offers. Innoson has way too many cars, way too many vehicles in the marketplace. And guess what? It is confusing consumers. Innoson right now trying to penetrate the luxury car market isn't working. Because if you're driving a look-alike G-Wagon, people are going to laugh at you now. If you have $20,000 right now, you can land a if nice. I'm not saying don't patronize Innoson. If you want to patronize Innoson, do it. But if I have disposable cash, $20,000 right now, today, 2026, I can land a clean Cadillac Escalade. I can land a clean, yes, fairly used Mercedes. Pre-owned, pre-certified, pre-owned. Meaning it's undergone a history check. They've changed everything. And I land that vehicle in Nigeria today. It's going to last me a lot longer than a brand new Innoson car for that same price. Guys, park a clean $20,000 used luxury car in Nigeria next to a brand new Innoson car. See who woman go follow. See who girl go follow. CJ said presidential and other official vehicles. Well, the Nigerian president is not going to drive an Innoson car. The Nigerian president, Tinubu, right now drives an Escalade. That's President Tinubu's detail. He gets moved around in an Escalade. GMC Yukon. I mean, that's what he does. Most officials like that. Why is he writing Tokumbo on there? That's what I'm trying to tell you now. That Innoson no get chief marketing officer. And they should probably invest in a chief marketing officer right now. Innoson needs to invest in a marketing department. Those photos that I showed you, you are trying to sell me a 18 to $20,000 brand new G80 and you shoot the picture next to dustbin. Does that tell me? You see, that doesn't tell me that a marketing executive oversaw any of this. Maybe Innoson just grabbed some person and said, build a website. People also think, you guys, a web developer is just that. They are just a web developer. They are not marketing experts. A web designer is a web designer. They are not marketing experts. They execute the vision of a marketing professional. That's what they do. You are trying to sell a luxury car. You are all over the map. You are doing EVs. You are doing buses and CNGs. You are doing basic keke and all this stuff. And you can't invest in a marketing team. Look at the comparison, Innoson compared to CJ. I don't have the capacity right now to be able to do a side-by-side split screen comparison between. I have to bounce from one to the other, so I can't do a split screen. Otherwise, I'll show you. I'm just using the Ford Motors website as an example compared to Innoson Motor. Look at the copywriting on Innoson's website. Does that look like a premium brand to you? I don't believe it. If you are catering to, at least if you want to cater to people with money, you got to study people with money. Most likely, they are educated. Most likely, they've lived abroad. So they have different sorts of expectations. Most likely, they have traveled. They have driven used cars. They've driven brand new cars. They have driven trucks. They have driven sedans. They are exposed. And if you're trying to sell me a so-called brand new luxury car, and I visit your website and I see the language of you talking about Tokumbodi's eradication of foreign used cars, and then I look at the picture of a Innoson G80, a $20,000 car, and they are shooting it next to a landfill. Are you crazy? Oh, my first advice to Innoson Motors is you need to define a clear USP, a clear unique selling proposition. My second advice to you, invest in a competent marketing team. Build a marketing department around the Innoson brand. I'm telling you, I I don't want to open up their social media right now, but I'm betting you it's probably going to be the same as the website. That whole website needs to be revamped. It needs to be redone. And yes, copy Ford if you want to. Put your prices up. Let people know when I'm visiting Innoson's website and I'm looking at the G80, I want to know off the bat how much I'm coming out of. Let me go back to the Ford website. You see, Ford is confident in their product. And that is why you see the price there. Starting at the F-150 XL starts at $40,000. The F-150 XEX starts at $42,000. The XLT, this is the one that I have, the XLT, starts at $45,000. The Lariat starts at $60,000. The Tremor, $65,000. Be confident. Show lifestyle. Look at this lifestyle. People, this is the audience. The American cowboy is who Ford caters to. The blue collar worker, the construction worker that has ranches. This is, look, show me. There's no user anything on Innoson. Innoson is just showing me what? You are showing me a factory. I don't want to see the factory. I want to see the utility. How is this used in the real world? That's what I want to see. Since we are doing let's go. Let's see pick up this granite one. Innoson granite. Let's look at Innoson granite. Okay, this kind of looks like it kind of looks like they copied. This looks familiar. This looks familiar. The only thing is it just has IVM in front of it. So now let's go to okay, look at this. You are just showing a car next to some sort of quarry. So that's a quarry, right? But why are you not showing me a picture of Nigerians driving this truck the way Ford is showing a picture of Americans using Ford cars? That's how you sell vehicles. You don't just sell cars by showing the vehicles themselves. You got to sell the utility aspect of it. How are people using the cars? That's why I'm telling you guys that Innoson does not have a marketing department. You don't. When a cowboy sees another cowboy standing next to an FX4 Ford, they want to get one. You see, this is King Ranch lifestyle. You are selling a lifestyle here. You're not selling a truck. You are selling a lifestyle. This is built for the American cowboy. Are you guys vibing? And then there's engine. This is the heart of everything. Power. This is the engine of the truck that powers it. Innoson's website is not detailed. You see lifestyle. You have a truck towing what? Trailers. This is how you sell cars, Innoson. This is how you sell cars. There's nothing, nothing about this website is going to make me want to remove my money. Okay, guys, this is a controlled environment. If you're going to do a car advertising in a controlled environment, shouldn't you at least clean up the environment? Let's do the Innoson Carrier four-wheel drive. Missed opportunities. So you are showing me a car with plastic inside, and nobody cares. This is like what car dealerships do. Innoson is not a car dealership. Innoson is. Let me stop this for a second. Innoson is behaving as if it's a car dealership. Innoson is not a car dealership. I'm still under the weather. I'm sorry, guys. I thought by now I'd be 100%, but I'm not. Innoson is behaving like a car dealership instead of a car maker. Telling you the gospel truth to borrow from some people. They don't know, first of all, they don't know who they are. And if you don't know who you are, then you definitely don't know who you are selling to. Man, there was a company that hired me once, man, for marketing. And you know why they struggled? Because the company didn't know who they were. Because they didn't know who they were always changing positions. They'll wake up tomorrow, we think we are this. They'll wake up the next day, oh, we think we are this. They'll wake up the next day, we think we are this. And then that's why the messaging kept on changing. There wasn't a unified voice. There was no consistency because the company didn't know who they were. If you don't know who you are, how can you know your customers when you don't even know yourself? Everything about this Innoson website speaks to me like they are a dealership. They are not a car dealership. They are a car brand. They need to start acting like a car brand. And auto marketing is all about what? Utility. People want to see people using the car. Now that you are selling Innoson pickup trucks, to which segment of the Nigerian population are they selling the Innoson pickup trucks to? Are they selling the Innoson pickup trucks to construction? Then if that's to construction people, if that's the case, because in Nigeria, we don't really have ranches. So you can't tap into that old ranch lifestyle. But we have a lot of construction going on. Have a construction engineer or a foreman in a hard hat standing next to the car, driving the car at construction site. So people can tie that truck to that sector. The way ranchers tie Ford trucks to ranching, blue collar Americans tie Ford trucks to the blue collar sector. Construction workers tie Ford trucks to construction. Landscapers tie Ford trucks to landscaping. That is why it's the number one selling pickup truck in America. This is not a jab. I'm not jabbing at you. I'm jabbing at not jabbing at Innoson. I'm just saying today, I don't think Mr. Innoson himself knows what the Innoson car brand is all about. Outside of you saying we are a, yeah, okay. Do you think Ford is saying oh buy us because we are made in America? If they're saying buy us for the lifestyle, they are selling a lifestyle tied to a product. This. Look, let me share this again. Nothing. I mean, just all constructive, all constructive, all constructive feedback. You need feedback like this from somebody that's exposed. A local Nigerian there that hasn't stepped foot out of Anambra isn't going to give you a feedback because they haven't seen the world like I've seen the world. That's why I'm telling you, if you are watching this, Mr. Innoson, invest in a marketing team with deep expertise in product management and product branding and advertising. You need a marketing team. I don't think you have it. Look at this Ford F1, this Ford. Let's look at the pictures for a second. Does something like this that looks like a hospital truck, does this make you want to buy this truck? You see, this is the behavior of a car dealer that just, this kind of looks like what police people drive. Look, there's nothing special about this. But have you tied this to a lifestyle? Build your product, Mr. Innoson, around Nigerian lifestyles. In order for you to build your product around Nigerian lifestyle, I mean, Mr. Innoson is obviously a Nigerian. Build your product around the lifestyle. Things that Nigerians are familiar with, and then tie the Innoson product cars to it. There is absolutely nothing about this chrome mirrored white truck that looks like something from what do you call it? Red Cross, this thing. Nothing about this makes me want to buy this vehicle. Nothing. You are what do they call it? A jack of all trades and master of none. Let's go back to Ford. Oh, by the way, on Innoson, you see any video? You don't see any video at all on anything. Nothing. And you want to compete? You want people to take you seriously? Look at this. Look at this bare bones website. And also, not okay. Let me stop this for a second. When you invest in a competent market, in a competent chief marketing officer, the first thing that they're going to tell you is we need to redo our website. That is the first investment. You bring me on as a chief marketing officer. The first thing I'm going to tell you that we have to invest in our digital footprint. This website has to be rebuilt and redone. Innoson doesn't have a marketing team. We get it. You are indigenous. We get that. We get it. We understand. Made in Nigeria, we understand. But there's nothing about Innoson that makes me want to buy today in 2026. This is a lifestyle. Look at that. Man, guys, una no understand, say, man, the information is already there for you to consume. Let's look at another car brand. So that's Ford. Who else? Who else is hot in the US? General Motors, is another brand. General Motors. Man, I gotta kick this headache. Here's another case study for the Innoson Motors team. This is GM. Another case study. That's GM right there. Da 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 da. Okay. All right. See, just yeah, I told you I can't do the side-by-side screen, but why do you say it has too many? It's been 20 years, something for everyone. Sentiment sells cars, but based on nostalgia or aspiration. That's a silly mission. Why try to eradicate used cars? Will never happen. It needs to be joyful, focused on consumer needs. His advertising sounds bitter, not attractive. I'm telling you, they don't have a marketing team. So just to answer your question, why do you say he has too many? Like I said, Innoson Motors is jack of all trades and master of none. You saw what happened, right, CJ, during the recession. A lot of car brands went away or they were absorbed into bigger car brands. I used to own a Saab. There's no more Saabs. Remember the Hummer H2, Hummer H1, Hummer H3? There's no more of those. Even though there's like new versions of Hummers now. Dodge Stratus. So many cars, brands. Mercury. When I first came to US, my dad used to have an Oldsmobile, a green Oldsmobile that I used to hide because that car was so ugly. I didn't want my friends in school to see me. So what I would do, and my dad would pull up, I would just then I'll tell my dad, go and park a mile, just keep driving because I didn't want my friends to see me get out of that car. The point is this. He has to be good at one model first. And the thing is, Innoson doesn't have a flagship model. So I'm on the website of GM. Okay. You see, this is what I'm talking about. When you put your car lifestyle marketing, I'm going to show you guys a Tesla in a second. So our offerings. So these are just, I think, just internal offerings from financial to insurance, their impact. Let's check out the brand. Let's check out, what's the GMC? So vehicles. So these are GMC. GMC is really known for their trucks. View all our vehicles. Okay. Let's look. What does Kit drive? Kit drives a Chevy. So let's look at Chevy. Chevrolet cars, vehicles, trucks. Let's look at SUVs. So this is what Kate has. She has a Chevy. This is what my wife drives, a Chevy Equinox. You see what I mean? It's tied to a lifestyle, camping. This is what people want to see. Tie your car to a lifestyle, to people. Innoson isn't doing that. So when you have a family, okay, you can drive this, you can go camping with it. This is this is vehicle marketing at its best. When you tie your products to a lifestyle. Let's go and look at what Tesla is doing with their marketing. Let's look at Tesla vehicles. Let's look at the model. Actually, let's look at the Cybertruck. Look at that. Utility. You are showing it in use. Video. You see what I'm saying? Lifestyle, ranching. These guys know how to market to Americans. Ranching in America is one of the most, I'm telling you, most that this the ranching sector in the US because it's ranchers that feed America. But Innoson isn't tying his cars to a lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? People using it's people that's going to buy your cars. You can't just be posting pictures of cars anyhow and just expecting people to buy. Look at the design. Look, ranching again, tied to ranching, tied to ranching, tied to ranching. Where are you guys watching from? Post in the chat. Guys, if you are driving into some vehicles, which model do you have? You see what I'm saying? Lifestyle families. You are trying it to a family. You see what I'm saying? This is how you sell cars. What do you drive right now, guys? I drive a Ford F-150. Post in the chat what you drive. You see all of this? They are solving a problem. We bring families together. We go camping together. We take care of our ranch as a family. There's video games for the kids. But do you think Innoson has the capability to do this when he has how many offers does Innoson have? Look, cars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, including the EVs. Innoson has over 20 different models. Name me one model that the general public in Nigeria knows and drives. That's all it's about. That's what we're trying to do here. We're pointing these things out so then they can let's look at cars. Let's look at Tesla cars. I think Model Y isn't Model Y. I think this model is the one that they're getting rid of. Okay, safety is tied to safety, convenience. You see, Tesla tied itself to an industry very early on. They tied Tesla to the tech industry. A lot of techies in Silicon Valleys were the first adopters of Tesla cars. A lot of technologists, because it was cool to drive a Tesla. Now, it's moved past the tech space. Now, the everyday American likes a Tesla, but he initially tied it to people in the tech sector. Innoson needs to do the same thing. Tie Innoson cars to an industry in Nigeria. But to answer your question, CJ, it may be a little too late though, because he's been doing this now for 19 years. But let me tell you, the music needs to stop. Innoson needs to revamp. Because this direction, the dam is going to break ultimately. This direction that they're going, the dam is ultimately going to break. It's not sustainable. They can't sustain this. All these multiple, over 20 brands. You can't tell me all those brands are profitable. You know what they always tell you in economics? It's 20% of your lineup is what makes up the entire business. So out of the 20 brands that Innoson has right now on ground, I'm telling you, only two has potential. The others are just wasting money. It's too fragmented. Seriously. Bus, pickup, SUVs, CNG, keke, EV. Uh-uh. Wait till now, who they sell to? All right, well, Innoson needs clarity, in my honest opinion. The company needs clarity. Know your customer. What is your clarity? Is it affordability? And also, what lifestyle are you tying your cars to? Are you tying it to the regular blue collar banker? I mean, tie it to a lifestyle. Even if you are just tailored to the banking sector, and every banker out there drives an Innoson vehicle. But right now, like they always say, habits die hard. It's very, very hard for you to. I'm telling you, habits, good or bad, die hard. Right now, you've been at it now for 20 years. 20 years. If you poll 10 Nigerians right now and ask them, which Innoson brand do you know? I highly doubt they'll be able to point one or two out. But ask them which Toyota. They will tell you Toyota this, Toyota Corolla, Toyota. You see what I'm saying? Innoson needs its own version of a Toyota Corolla. Catered a price range that the everyday Nigerian can afford. Nothing wrong with that. You see, you can be a mass market brand. It's okay. But that was what Ford is. Ford today is still relatively a mass market brand. But after 20 years of being in business, they went premium when they bought Lincoln. So Lincoln is Ford's premium. You see, the Toyota, the baseline Fords, that's just for the everyday American. And then for the blue collar American, construction workers, farm owners, ranchers, they built the Ford F-150 specifically for those guys. The Ford F-150 has different variations, but everybody knows the Ford F-150 because I drive a Ford F-150 XLT. There's the F-150 Lariat. There's the F-150 King Ranch. That's what George Bush drives. Innoson needs a model tied to Innoson. And it needs to run with that model and have different variants of that model with time. Because right now you are all over the place. You are trying to appeal to every demographic of Nigeria without necessarily appealing to any Nigerian. All right. Okay, well, that's it today. I'm gonna go ahead and relax and rest. And then I'll be back. Monday is President's Day. So there's a holiday in the US, President's Day. Maybe we'll do something on since it's President's Day. Maybe we'll do something on President Trump on Monday. Or President Bola Tinubu on Monday. 'Cause Monday's President's Day. Do you guys celebrate President's Day in Nigeria? All right, so Monday's President's Day. Hope you guys enjoy this. Perhaps we'll be back this weekend. See how I feel. I may hop back on again tomorrow, maybe Sunday, but definitely for sure Monday. We'll be back. Katie's also off on Monday, so maybe she'll join the podcast on Monday. But I really appreciate you guys. I hope you have a very wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will catch you guys